And hello and good morning. Or good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'm David Boles, and this is Boles.tv, B-O-L-E-S, period TV. And I hope you're doing well. I'm going to now do the thing I'm supposed to do, which is forward to the next song, because at 58 minutes, our stream from Slipstream stops playing. And if I click the next song, it's not going to the next song. So I don't know what's happening with this. Do I need to stop it and then restart it? Who knows? This is the world in which we live, which is virtual and unidentifiable. But we still do our best to try to figure it out. As you can see live, I don't like how this looks. Last week we had a little bit of a problem. Issue, sort of, with our Discord live stream stats. And how we are being transcribed textually, contextually by Scriptly. Excuse me. 9 o'clock in the morning. You know what that means. Hotboxing from our neighbors. And the Scriptly people said, I don't think that's our problem. It looks like it's a Discord problem with the way that they have their webhooks set up. So it took about a week, and then they did a little bit of testing at Scriptly, and they said, hey, if you use a different way to invoke Scriptly, you're not going to get that ugly object-object formatting. Instead, you're going to get this ugly formatting. So to get Scriptly started, you go into your chat channel and you type an asterisk, transcribe, space, and then webhooks. Or in this case, asterisk, transcribe, space, text. And this is the text version of what we're saying. And by God, it's ugly. It's using my full username, which is Boles #3568, which is fine because that is the username. But when it was prettier, it used my name and it put it in a pretty pink color. So maybe I'll stop this. Asterisk, disconnect. And then start it all over again and say, hey, here we go. And we'll just go back to the way we used it before. Describe webhooks. It's webhook, not webhooks. Retype. Enter. Okay. System sound, thank you very much. So here we are. Now we're seeing the object-object ugliness, but you're not getting the transcribing Spotify ugliness along with the @bold ugliness. Ooh, that was just ugly. So this is better, I guess. Yeah. It's just ugly. I'm looking at the chat. In Discord, and it's just really, really, really ugly. Wow. So, what are you going to do? Life's snug in place. Now it looks much more natural. And if you're looking at Discord now or later, you can go check it later. Our live stream text chat channel, you can see this is working better. So, we're going to do what we did last week, is where we had this here. Oh my God, Gordon's here. I'm having a fit and I can't say he's here. Gordon is here. Little update for everyone. I placed an order for the Vita Ramen the day we discussed it on this live Twitch stream. That was on March 24th, I believe. It's still in confirmed status. So if you're a rush to get their ramen, don't be. Yeah, that's the problem they have. They've lowered their shipping, I think, to a flat fee of $6.50. Maybe that's only for subscriptions. And it takes... They're very slow. It takes a good my experience, 10 to 15 business days to get, because they're shipping from California to the East Coast. It takes forever. And that's a problem. So now I'm going to turn off this Discord thing because it's just too ugly to look at here. But it looks much better on the Discord channel. Wink. I think that's gone. Is that gone? No, that's the wrong one. Discord text chat is what I want. That, yeah, that's gone. Okay, better. Now we're better. So Gordon, I'm sorry this is taking so long to get to you. It should be worth the wait. I think it's very delicious stuff. But the way they explain their slow shipping is that in order to get a good deal, I believe from UPS, they have to ship in bulk. They don't have pickups every day because, here we go, Gordon updates. 10 days ago, I sent a message asking them to make sure that my whole order is vegan because I discovered they also have extremely non-vegan offerings as well. Absolutely. I think they only have one vegan one, and that's the vegan miso. And usually they're very responsive. So if they don't respond to you, let me know and I will help you track them down. I believe they are very active, oddly enough, in the Soylent Reddit subgroup. Now you think, why would I go to Soylent? The Soylent Reddit subgroup has become a gathering place to talk about anything that's like vegan, that's a one-meal thing. So people talk about Jimmy Joy and Huel and all kinds of different things there, as well as Vita Ramen, because the idea of Vita Ramen is one thing, is a meal, a fulfilling, proper meal. And the way they explain it to me, because when I complained about this, way back when, is that UPS will not come every day unless there are a certain number of parcels to be picked up because of their discounted shipping rate. And they're not shipping regular UPS, it's like sub-UPS. It's through UPS, but it's like a low-priority UPS. And shipping has always been their number one problem. Not taste, not product, not running out of stuff. So UPS shows up, I don't know, once a week to get their whole everything truck packed, and then they ship it out. That's why when I order from them, I tend to order a lot at once, because I would rather not have it shipped. And then, is it going to be a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks? It took a long time. And they know it, and they can't seem to get it fixed, because people don't want to pay for shipping. And what they should do for some people is say, look, if you want to get it faster, pay more. And some people would do that. Oh, Gordon asked me my experience with Huel. They seem to be 100% vegan. Yes, Huel, I have a very long and very thick relationship with Huel, both good and bad. We started on Soylent, which we really loved. And then we moved to Huel because it was slightly more filling. You get a little bit more for your money's worth. They're a UK company, but they have great distribution. The bottles, if you're going RTD, are bigger. We prefer RTD, but people like to mix their own stuff. But for what Jan is doing, and as she's out for 18 hours a day, she can't really mix her own stuff because it's not possible, because she's not always near a water source to fill and clean. And the RTD just tastes better. Somehow they mix it better, I don't know. But the Huel, they're a very good company. Their PR people suck. And I was a very loyal customer for a very long time. Then they came to me, the PR person, we have these new sweet and savory flavors we're going to send you so you can talk about it. And I said, okay. And then they never sent it. So I thought, okay, I'm done with Huel, because I spent a lot of money with them. And then they wanted me to help them, and I said I would, and then they decided that they didn't want to do it. So I'm off of the Huel train now, and I'm back on the Soylent train. But Huel is very good. Huel tends to, in the experience of several people, I believe the term is atomic farts. There is something that Huel puts in their stuff that makes some people really, really have trouble. And one girlfriend told her boyfriend, look, you cannot drink/eat that anymore because you're not allowed in the apartment. And she made him stop. And he said, she's right, because it's been 3 weeks. It usually takes 2 to 3 weeks to get accustomed to something like that. And it's not getting any better. And they said it's the allulose, I think, or whatever in the Huel. They changed the recipe. And the Soylent doesn't seem to give that sort of nuclear energy. But Huel is very good, and they have a much wider offering than I had with them. Now, they have some kind of bar, which is really, really terrible, which is what sort of started my relationship with them going sour, because the bars were just awful. And I kind of said, these are not great, and they got very angry with me in their forum. Don't talk like that. And also, just because it's me, if you drink Huel calls you a hooligan. And I don't like, I think it's negative. Why can't I be called a Hueler? I don't want to be called a hooligan. Maybe that's a British thing. Maybe they think it's funny. I don't like it. Just like I did a whole podcast on this one. I do not like the idea of the slutty vegan. Why? I understand you think it's funny, you think it's going to sell, sex sells, but slutty vegan, why? What's slutty about it? Is it sexual? I don't think so. I think she's mainly focused on food. So why go there? But people know her, people remember the name, and that is the old PR nugget. Hey, the idea is to be remembered. And if you let go of fart in a crowded room, people are going to remember you. All publicity is good publicity. All memories are good memories. I don't believe that, but that's what PR people will try to sell you. That the good can be the bad. The slutty is a positive now. I don't want a part of it. But the Huel stuff tastes good. I really like their, I think they call it berry. It's very good. Jenna loves their chocolate. People sometimes have trouble sealing the bags of the powder. And sometimes the bags, for some reason, come erupted a little bit and they leak all over the inside. We never had a problem with that with the RTDs. But now they have, I think, macaroni and cheese and green lentil Thai soups. They've expanded. And their customer support is very good. They ship on time. All these companies want you to be a subscriber, which we prefer not to do. We like to just, hey, be ourselves. And not have the worry of having a recurring fee, because it's not a terrific thing. But their support group, their not Discord channel, what is it? What's the other one? Discus. I believe it's Discus. Support channel's very good. They have very nice people there. They're very helpful. On Facebook, Gordon says, they very cleverly post about mixing scoops of their Huels to make new tastes. Mac and cheese with chili, for example. I have never done that. I stopped at savory. When they moved to savory and didn't come through, I said, okay, you don't value me, I don't value you anymore. I'm not giving you any more of my money. But people really tend to like that. It seems to be, what I remember is, they said with the savory stuff, it needs more water than they will say. And it needs to sit longer than they say to soften up. But it's very smart. They're a smart company. You get a free t-shirt, at least you used to, on your first order. And for a while, their system was down. And every order you placed, they said, do you want a free t-shirt? And they're nice t-shirts. And of course, I always said yes. So I have a whole rack of Huel t-shirts that were sent to me as a 100-time first-time customer. Thank you very much. I will never turn down a free t-shirt. I don't care if I already have one. If it's free, I'm taking it. So we do. So if you're interested in like a bar. Now, the Huel people say, well, if you want our bars to be good, you have to put them in the microwave first, which made me laugh. And I did kind of laugh at them when they said that, because I said, oh, that's great. You sell this as a bar on the go that you keep in your pocket and you pull out when you're hungry. but you have to be near a microwave. And the microwaving, we tried it, it didn't make a difference. Now, if you're looking for an interesting bar to eat, the Soylent bars are really, really good. They taste like candy. They taste like Starbursts. And they're little meals in a little tiny package like that. They're very chewy. They're very, 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 very delicious. If you like something that's maybe a little bit sweet. And it has high protein. Hard to beat. Today I also learned, unfortunately, that many of the kind bars that claim to be vegan are not. Big stink going on with that in the vegan groups, very upset. And so the answer is, oh, Gordon's back. I have a very savory, inexpensive by comparison, breakfast meal. Rolled oats, chia seeds, hemp seeds, flax seeds. As Dr. Michael Greger recommends having daily, absolutely, and flax seeds are heavy in huel. And then seasoning with turmeric, black pepper, another Dr. Greger recommendation, and then other herbs as I am in the mood. Delicious and very budget. Wonderful. That's cool, sort of like overnight oats, which are a big thing. It sounds absolutely delicious. I'm getting hungry. So I forgot what I was talking about, but our text translation looks much better on Discord. Let's see, we talked about Soylent and their little bars, which I completely approve of. It's an ugly day here on the East Coast. It's all cloudy and rainy, and it's supposed to be bright sunshine and 75 degrees. Now, it's only 9:20 in the morning, so maybe there's hope for the rest of the day, but I'm not sure if I'm hopeful about that. So, yesterday we also talked about waving at people. This was at the end of the show, and I got to thinking there are different kinds of waves. There's the Midwestern car wave where you raise your finger and wave at people. There's just this wave. There's a wave, the thumbs up, which I consider a wave. Some people say nodding your head, acknowledgement is a wave. Then there's the overdone wave that I talked about, Samantha, who goes like this when she sees you like this and won't stop until you wave back. So sometimes if you just wait and smile at her, she'll stop waving. And then there's just like the big wave. Hey, as you go by. That's the one I find most effective, instead of waving like this. Hello. Nice to see you. Just, hello. Nod back. Well, as we know, bots are a big problem if you're live streaming, because they tend to manipulate and inflate your viewership when they're not supposed to. So you spend a lot of time banning bots, and then some people say, why bother banning bots? They're not doing anything. Some of them may be doing research. Some of them may be doing commando stuff. But don't bother to keep banning them every single day, because you'll never catch up. So I banned most of them. For a while, we were getting like 75 to 100 bots a day, and so I was able to just ban them using Commander route, I believe. But every day, 2 or 3 bots just show up. You don't know who they are, what they're doing here, why they're here, I don't know. But I've now decided to just give up on them, because I spend a lot of time banning things that just pop up under a different name. And it's not the same thing, but it's just weird. I don't know what the appeal of a bot like that is. Unless they think that they can somehow get in and mess things up. I don't really understand it. So there's one other point I wanted to make about Soylent and Huel. I'm trying to remember what the point was. But the thing about the RTDs is to get, your minimum 60 grams of protein a day. Minimum. Guys, I think, need more like 120. Women need 85. But for a base, you need 60 grams of protein. So if you're like dieting and you want to lose weight fast, you would take, and you want to stay, 1,200 calories. 1,500 is okay, but 1,200 is ideal for a daily diet. So that is 3 Soylents or Huels a day, because they're both like 400 calories and 20 grams of protein. So it's 1,200 calories, 60 grams of protein as your minimum. And for some people, that's a lot of money. That's $3-4 a bottle if you're doing the RTD route, $12 a day. But if that's all you're eating, $12 a day, especially on the East Coast, that's nothing. That's like a vegan bowl at Chipotle. 1. And that's your meal for the day, is 1,200 calories. And then there are a lot of other protein supplements. OWYN, which is pretty good. I like OWYN, OWYN, a lot. Mr. Gordon says, just asked a coworker about the finger wave. She's originally from Wisconsin. She said, yes, the farmer's wave, sometimes accompanied by a head nod. Yeah, very rural. It's very strange. I remember when I was a kid, I first saw it, driving with the young Uncle Russell. There are 2 Uncle Russells, but the younger Uncle Russell. And I asked him, why are you always doing this when a car passes? He said, I'm waving. I said, that's not waving. And it's not like he had both hands on the wheel. He had one hand in his lap and one hand driving like this. The old farmer's wave. So we definitely live in interesting times where all kinds of confusing things have been going on. We talked about our Soylent and our Huel. And then there was something else we were talking about, and when we get weather like this, where it's close, and my Macy's leg begins to hurt and throb, it really takes my mind away from what I'm supposed to be doing in my concentration efforts. But I'll think about it, and I'll figure it out. So before we begin our next little segment, I think it's a good time to take a very brief blood pressure break to get things straightened out and to have some fun. Oh, now I can't take a break because Gordon is bringing up Chipotle, the place where the price of avocado is astronomical. It infuriates me because avocados are terrific. They got a lot of fat in them, a lot of calories, and it's all 100% good. Your body devours it. And if you want to add guacamole, a little tiny thing of guacamole, I think it's $2.75 here. And then if you ask for more, they give you this much more. At least they used to. I think now with the pandemic, now they just make it all and they don't ask you how much you want or you want extra. They just do it and that's it, which I think is ridiculous. But their profits are up and they're very, very proud of screwing the rest of us out of our food. And you used to get a tortilla on the side for free if you wanted it, if you're new to ask. Now they don't do that anymore. And it's absolutely ridiculous that they charge that much for guacamole. And with the vegan bowl, if you go there and you ask for a vegan bowl, it's one thing, they put it together, go. But they're very sneaky about it. Because if you order a vegan bowl, they're supposed to nod and make it for you. But now you go in there and you say, I'd like a vegan bowl, at least in our area. I say, oh, what would you like in that? And you're thinking, wait a minute, the vegan bowl is a thing. It's not ordinary where you go, I want this and that and this and that and this and that. It's one thing. All the vegan stuff in, plus guacamole included in the price of the vegan bowl. And they don't want to sell it to you that way. They want you to order a bowl and then you make it in your vegan lifestyle. And then at the end, they charge you $2.75 for a guacamole. And you say, wait a minute, I ordered a vegan bowl. Oh, no, this is a regular bowl. So then you go back and you talk about, I asked for a vegan bowl. Well, that's everything you put in there is vegan. Yeah, but the price of the guacamole is not included. It's supposed to be $2 cheaper than a regular bowl because we're not getting any meat. All it is rice and beans, pretty much. A little bit of lettuce. No cheese, no dairy. What are you charging me for? That's why you get the vegan bowl, so you get the $2.75 for free. And they don't care. And they don't want to remake it. They're not going to charge you the vegan bowl price. So I'm not really high on Chipotle because of that. I like to vote with my wallet. And also I find that lately with their sofritas, very, very, very super salty. It's almost too spicy and way too salty for my taste. And I understand why they do that. If you're vegan, you're going to live your life. If you have a Midwestern palate of growing up with meat and potatoes, very bland, salt with maybe a little bit of pepper, no spices. You go into the vegan world and everything, because it's basically tempeh and tofu and beans, people and companies are going to spice it up for you. And that means salt and lots of other spices that maybe you don't want, but that's how they present it to you. And they don't give you stuff on the side to sprinkle on there and make it feel better. It's just there, take it or leave it. And often it's too hard for me to take. It's too salty. I don't use a lot of salt. I always go salt-free for everything. And if I need to add a little flavor, a little Mrs. Dash. I know the body needs salt. The body is a battery. But everything you eat, including Huel and Soylent, they all have salt in it, so you're getting plenty of salt in your diet without having to add any salt. Gordon says, look for Georgian spice. The country, not the state, at Trader Joe's. Wonderful. I will have the Jana Marie look for that. Has no salt. I'm writing it down in case this disappears. Georgian spice, great. Fabulous. And now we're taking a very brief blood pressure break. We'll be back in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Boles. This is Boles.tv. Coming to you live from the East Coast, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Having a lovely discussion about health and fitness. And I just want to remind you that if you are trying to lose weight, just make sure you do it safely. 1,200 calories a day is your minimum calorie intake, and 60 grams of protein. Anything under than that, you're going to be in trouble. Even 600-pound life with Dr. Now, he puts those people on 1,200 calories because that's the minimum the body needs just to keep going. And you go lower than that, you're going to be in trouble. And there's an app called MyFitnessPal that I like a lot that tracks your exercise and your height, weight, BMI, diet, and you can put in what you eat every day. And if you happen to put in something and you want to complete your day so you can see how many pounds you've lost, what your projections are, if you put in something that is under 1,200 calories for your meals for the day and you're done eating, MyFitnessPal will give you a message saying, we're not counting this day. You're not eating enough, and we're not going to tell you, give you a report on how you're doing because you're not doing this right and you're going to hurt yourself, which I think is really terrific. And there were a couple of days where I kind of forgot to put things in. And MyFitnessPal said, no, young man. And then I went back and fixed it, and they said, okay, here's your report. So earlier we were talking about protein bars, vegan bars, and how kind bars are now facing the wrath of the vegan community. Because it appears they have changed their recipe. Now they're adding honey to the kind bars, and now they're saying there's really only one true kind bar. It's the dark chocolate one that is vegan. All the others have other stuff that they've poured in there. So I just checked. We have an old kind bar. And the reason kind bars are popular is because they have a lot of nuts, which is nice. They have a lot of protein, which is okay. And they're always on sale. I don't like to buy stuff like this if I can't get at least 30% off. You can easily get 10, 15, but if you really wait, they're going to come at you with a 30% off. So that's my standard, and Kind loves to give 30% away. But now we can't do that anymore. So we're going back to our old standard, and it's not the Huel bars, which are terrible, not the Soylent bars, which are that big but super delicious. We're going back to our old standard, the Go Macro Bar. Now they have protein, they have berries, they have nuts. Everything in their line is vegan. And it's super duper duper, which is the very technical term, delicious. Now, these don't really ever go on sale because I think they know how delicious it is. So a box of 12, they come 12 to a box, is about $35. $39, depends on what varieties you're getting. Buy direct from Go Macro, buy them on Amazon, it's really the same price. But very chewy, very, very delicious. Now I remember the other thing I wanted to talk about, which was OWYN. OWYN, right? And OWN stands for only what you need, which I like quite a lot. And it looks like I'm stuttering a little bit, but I'm not losing any frames. So this is OWN. They are in New Jersey. They're a New Jersey company invented by a doctor who decided he wanted to eat better and have a better life. So the great thing about that is we live in New Jersey. So they're like, here we are, here's OWN, we order, it's here the next day. Instantaneous delivery. Now OWN, because it's sort of an elite protein shake, doesn't go on sale a lot. They have meal replacements, they have protein shakes. This is my favorite. Order protein shakes, right, up here. But which one? They have the standard 20 gram. That's not what you want. You don't want that one. You want, where is it? I ordered it yesterday. No, it's here. You want this one. The Pro Elite High Protein Shake. A little expensive, but look what you get. 35 grams of protein. I believe it's pea protein, which is my favorite protein. 35 grams of protein in one tiny little bottle. All plant-based, no dairy, soy, wheat, nothing of the sort. Non-GMO, certified vegan, woohoo! Gluten-free, no sugar, 35 grams is excellent. Yeah, I have not been able to find in an RTD, because a powder you can add as much as you want, but in an RTD, I've not been able to find one that is 35 anywhere. I've seen 20, I've seen 26. 20 is the standard. I've never seen 35. And they're super delicious. The vanilla's good, the chocolate is good. My favorite is the No Nut Buttercup, which is like a Reese's Buttercup in a bottle. It's keto-friendly, 35 grams of protein, 0 sugar, all EAA, 0 net carbs, with omega-3s. It's really a fantastic thing. And they have what I call a Tetra Box, smaller version of this that is 32 grams of protein. It used to be the Tetra Box 35. And I think they just did that because it was convenient. They didn't think that, a Tetra Box is a little bit smaller than a bottle, so they just left it at 35. And I have a feeling somebody said something and they fixed it. So they're out of the Tetra Boxes, which is fine because I'd rather have the 35. And this is really great before or after a workout. However you like it, it really powers you up. So 2 of these is not a meal replacement, so it's about 200 calories. 2 of these is 70 grams of protein, which is phenomenal. Whereas 2 of a regular OWN, a regular Soylent, a regular whatever, is 40. So you're way, way ahead. And here it is. This is 230 calories, which is fabulously small for 35 grams of protein. And you think, it's going to be chalky, it's going to be thick. I don't like it. No. It's very, very delicious. And it's not too sweet. I don't like sweet stuff. Now, if you subscribe, you get a little bit off. Not much, though. Here, this is my favorite, which is the No Nut Buttercup. 12 bottles, $48. It's expensive, but you're getting twice the protein almost, so you have to figure it that way. Price per gram of protein, not price per liquid ounce. And then our other favorite is, what's that called? Orgain. Now, I like Orgain. We've ordered a lot of Orgain, and they ship pretty well too, pretty fast. They have they're very deep in variety. Not all their stuff is vegan, though. That's what you have to be a little bit careful of. But Orgain always has a sale. You can always, if you wait long enough, get 30% off. And then just buy in bulk, which is what we do, and they don't care. They love it. They have powders. They have meal replacements, which are 16 grams protein, and then they have regular just protein drinks, which are about 20. And you have to be very careful what you order here because not everything is vegan. So that's why I think they have a filter here. At least they used to have a filter. 25% off subscription orders, which is big, wonderful, actually. And they have all kinds of different flavors. They have peppermint hot chocolate mocha protein shake for the fall and winter, horchata, caramel. But they're all powders. And their powders are very good. They mix well. But I like their drinks. Let's shop their drinks. Now, this is where it gets a filter. Dietary needs, high protein, vegan. There we go. Okay, so now we're on the vegan nutritional shake. And then there's the plant protein. So this is how they do it. So the nutritional shake is the meal replacement, which is 16 grams of protein, which is not a lot. But if you just want a shake that's not a meal replacement with a lot of calories, then you go for the plant protein, which is 20 grams. And their prices are pretty good. $30 for 12. So cheaper than Soylent. Cheaper than almost anything out there. And then plus, 30% off. So you can see they have 100 things that you can buy, but only Orgain for Kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 things are vegan. So these are really the 2 things that you're going to be interested in. The meal replacement for when you're on the go, and then your plant protein, which is 20 grams. Highly recommend them. And we found the OWN and the Orgain after our debacle with the Huel people. Now, our friend Ethereum having a hard day. As you can see, this chart is showing some hope of recovery. But boy, oh boy, when I got up this morning, it was under $3,000. And it's been as low as $2,500 in the past couple of weeks and as high as $3,500 as of yesterday. And then it just all fell off the block yesterday. Bitcoin dropped yesterday to below 40,000. And it had not been below 40,000 for over a month. We don't know why. We don't know how these things happen. They just tend to poke their heads up and cause trouble. But it's getting better. Prices are going up. Gas prices, oh my, $28. It seems like every time we check lately, it's been around $30. Oh, now it's $33. Ugh, that's high for gas. Now, an interesting story is when I awakened this morning about 5, there was a Discord message to everyone from Ali Sabet, S-A-B-E-T, Sabet. Sabet. And he was announcing very oddly, because that's 3 a.m. his time in Los Angeles. And I've never seen him do a release at 3 a.m. Los Angeles time, but maybe he's being fair and giving the whole world a chance to eat something up. And he said in his message that he was releasing the final 20 Pixopop Cuties. Now, the Pixopop Cuties, as I understand it, made their debut about a year ago and sold out very quickly. People love them. The kids, generically speaking, are head over heels for the Pixopop Cuties. And it's a bunny that Sabet paints. He doesn't draw it on a computer. He draws it all by hand. And then he makes these bunnies into various different things that are sort of cute. And people love them. And they're very expensive. The floor price for a long time was 1 Ethereum, which was about, at that time, $3,500, just for one. Now, a lot of art sells for higher than that. For a Pixopop Cutie, it's a lot of money. So the fact that he was dropping 20 new Pixopop Cuties, which I guess he's been drawing, was both a surprise and a shock. And the fact that he dropped them on OpenSea at 3 in the morning Los Angeles time was even more shocking. Because, in my experience, half of the world in his group is not up at that time. So people who were up, people from other parts of the world, people on the East Coast, got an exclusive chance to go in there and buy at a floor price of 0.25, which was about, at the time, $450. Which for a Pixopop Cutie, and they're one of ones, so once you get one, that's it. No one else gets another one. Very, very nice. So those people who just happen to be awake and checking Discord and just happen to have $500 plus gas fees in their Ethereum account could go get their very own Pixopop Cuties. And really, if you wanted to get one, you had to pay more than $3,500. Which seems to be interesting, because usually Sabet is very, very careful about these releases. And he announces them beforehand. He says, look, Pixopop is going to be coming up next week. I'm going to release them at 3 a.m. Los Angeles time. If you're interested, this is going to be the floor price. Go get it. But for some reason, today, he just popped on Discord and said, okay, the last 20 are up. And that was it. He didn't say, go here, go. So then you had to figure out, where do I go? Well, you go to OpenSea. Well, where are they? They're right there. But wait a minute, they're not at 0.25. I'm going to show you that next. So here we are, Pixopop on OpenSea. I'm going to refresh the page because it's been a wild tsunami since 5 a.m. Eastern time. 6 a.m. He's 3 hours behind, so he released these at 2 in the morning. Somebody online said it was 3 in the morning, but of course it was 3 for them. And for Sabet it was 2, for me it was 5. So this is the webpage, the OpenSea webpage for the Pixopop Cuties. Okay. And then we're going to filter this on Buy Now. And these are the Pixopop Cuties that are available for purchase immediately. And Sabet was selling these for 0.25. A quarter of 1 Ethereum. And you can see the floor price, the lowest price you can get, is now 0.4. And when I checked, when I was up, there were about 10 out of 20 left at 0.25. I thought, well, isn't that it? I was trying to figure out what's going on. And then I went back and checked again, and there were 5 left. And I thought, wait a minute, there were just 10. That's what happens when you wake up and you're groggy and you're not expecting to see something from Sabet. You miss out on all the fun. So all of these are gone. These new cuties that he released, hand-painted, that he released today. They're now selling for double the price. $1,500. 0.5 right there. That one, when I woke up, was 0.25. And it's now selling for double. Now, I find that tasteless, that people go in there and in 2 hours flip a Pixopop Cutie, any NFT, for double the money. Some people might say that's smart. That's a businessman. To me, that's not a collector. That is not a lover of art. That's someone who's trying to make a buck. It's not very impressive, but when you get up, the early bird gets the Pixopop Cutie. And these are very cute. And if you've looked at these before, you know these are all the new ones. And this one is really nice. Already selling for $1. This is selling for $3,000, where a few hours ago it was selling for $400. And you really know the new ones because the new ones have a white background, some of them, which is new and different because no Pixopop Cutie has a white background except these new ones they just released. And this one is selling for $1, and it was released 5 hours ago. So this NFT stuff is a business. People are in it, not to make money, but to make a killing. And these are the ones that are for sale. Now others, which are, there's a ghost one, really cute stuff. It's not for sale because people are not selling it. They want to keep their hands on it, which is good. I love it when Sabet does Sabet on Sabet. So this is a Pixopop Cutie with a Sabet woman on the t-shirt and the Sabet script, as he calls it, on the beanie. Selling for 1.5 Ethereum. That's what? $4,500. Now that's magic. Buy it for 4 and sell it for 4,500. And the Ninja, wow, $6,000. And that was released this morning, 5 hours ago. Ninja number 2, same thing, probably purchased by the same person. And Thor, selling for 5. Now Thor's an oldie. $15,000 if you want Thor. Now I was very lucky and fortunate to get my hands on one Pixopop Cutie. This is my R2D2 Pixopop Cutie, which of course I think is the cutest Pixopop Cutie of all. And it's probably of my 43 NFTs that I have, I think this is the shining star of my collection so far. And so I have made it my Boles.f avatar. I have made it my main avatar on OpenSea, and that's that. So there you go. So Sabet, I'm sure, is thrilled. He could have easily sold those last 2 for 1 Ethereum. Absolutely, simply could have done it. And usually when Sabet offers something, it's usually 0.13 or 0.18 Ethereum, not 0.25, so he already almost doubled the price on people. Gordon says, just to be clear, he hand paints, as in with real-world paint, and then what? He waits for it to dry and slaps it on the scanner? That is my understanding. He does both. Like his Tokyo Punks are all computer-generated, meaning that there's a certain face style, there's a certain hairstyle, and then the computer inserts them into different expressions. And the Tokyo Punks are not selling. They're selling for about $200 each. And all the holders of the Tokyo Punks are very upset that their investment is going down. So I collect the blue face, blonde hair guy. So this one has the cat whiskers. This one has the animal teeth, the tongue out, the eyes are different, but it's the same outline, same shape. So this is all computer generated. This is how a lot of artists do it. And I think it's very boring, but the Sabet stuff is okay. And these are rather new, the Tokyo Punks. They're only a few months old. And they're going on Coinbase soon, where people can buy them with a credit card, which is going to increase the price. So with the Pixopops, yes, he paints them and then waits for them to dry, and then I believe, scans them or takes a picture and then sells the photograph of the NFT. Now, there are some artists who will, if you buy the NFT, will then send you the original painting, drawing, as well for the same price. But not many do. Only a couple of them do that. So I think that there are 2 versions of the artwork that exist. One, the physical painting, and the second one is the NFT. And they are, I believe, considered separate entities. One does not guarantee ownership of the other. Which is fine because they're different mediums, really. It's not that big a deal. But sometimes, like the ugly kitties, this is all hand-drawn, but on the computer. And he said he has a digital studio, and he has an analog studio, is what he calls it. And he did an analog. He just moved to a new building, so he's getting everything set up. The digital side is all fixed, and just this week he finally got the analog part set up for the last week. And he was happy about that. He made a video showing how he paints with his hands, and he wears a glove. It's very interesting. Oh, his Twitter account is worth following. So let me see if I can find an old Sabet for you here. And he posts all the time. And see, the Coinbase NFT thing, he's one of 50 artists who are going to be in the initial offering of NFTs on Coinbase. So he is drooling, and all of the current holders are drooling because they think once this goes to Coinbase, who has $35 million customers, whereas OpenSea has $1.3 million customers, 1.3 million customers, it's going to skyrocket. And this is very interesting. This is his avatar, Sabet's avatar. And the original version of this, NFT version, on his website of this particular woman in a NASA outfit is $50,000. One of one. And so he's very active in his Discord server. You can talk to him there. But if you really want to find Sabet and always be involved, go to his page, click on this little thing, which means you'll be notified every time he posts something. And he posts and retweets and offers very interesting insight. And if you need to talk to there he is signing something. And if you want to talk to Sabet, you send him a DM and he'll have a conversation with you. He loves Twitter. Now, he may not like it after Elon Musk is done with it. But they just had a big party, I think in Las Vegas, where Sabet and some other NFT authors were there. They were all together selling their stuff. And if you had a pizza box or an envelope, you gave it to Sabet or Gabe Weis, and they would draw their own little thing for you right there. Some people had them drawn their arms, the Sabet stuff on their arms. And then they went to a tattoo parlor and had it made permanent, which I think is just wonderful, where Sabet gives you his own artwork. And he's an old guy, he admits it. This is the thing. 5 hours ago, the last 26 Pixopop Cuties hand-painted pieces just dropped. The collection is complete. I didn't know it was ever incomplete. These will hold the key to the future of Pixopop. Collect now. And he does have some kind of plans for Pixopop. I don't know if it's going to be animation, a kid's show, but the speculation is rampant about what Sabet has coming up next. These are his Tokyo Punks. And the punks are affordable. If you're looking to get into NFTs and get into the Sabet door, the Tokyo Punks are a good way to get in because they're very affordable. I think they're ugly. And Sabet is all about beauty and love, but maybe that's interesting to get something that's not beautiful and lovely from Sabet. And here are his healing codes, which I've discussed before. I'm not wild about his healing codes. I think they're slightly cultish. But he has big plans for that as well. And he's super positive. You ask him a question, he'll answer you. There's Sabet without his hat on. Very prolific. Always has something new. And some people in the community said, you got to slow down because you're releasing too much good stuff. And we have to save our money in order to buy your stuff because it's, $400 on the floor. And then it goes way, 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 way up. So Sabet's a lot of fun. And now it's that time of day. I'm going to take a very brief blood pressure break. Back in a moment. And we are back from break. And I'm trying to find something on the Sabet Twitter page, but I can't seem to find it. Because Gordon said Starbucks coffee follows Sabet on Twitter. Wow. Yeah, Sabet is a very big thing. And he just announced a new partnership with the Chicago Bulls, which is very interesting because something's happening. And another, I gotta see if I can find this, another favorite NFT artist of mine named Wes Henry saw that tweet from Sabet talking about, hey, I'm doing something with the Chicago Bulls. And then Wes replied, if I see if I can find this on Twitter, it was so funny. The fear of being left out. FOMO, is that what it is? Fear of missing out. YOLO, you only live once. Let's see, Chicago Bulls. Oops. Now this is getting interesting. I can't find it. I don't think he deleted it. I saw the part about the Chicago announcement, but I got the Wes Henry thing was so funny. And I worry that Sabet is sometimes getting spread a little bit too thin. Now, I'm sure he's laughing at me all the way to the bank because Sabet isn't doing anything that isn't getting him a lot of money. So believe me, he's going to keep creating as best as he can. So the Chicago Bulls stuff is coming on Coinbase, it appears. So let me look up in a different way. I have a feeling Wes took it down because it was so funny. And it's got to be on his page. If I can just see if I can find it. Well, it was a drawing that Wes Henry made of Michael Jackson, not Michael Jordan. And he replied to the Sabet Chicago Bulls tweet by saying, hey, I've been drawing Michael Jordan for years. I think we should talk. And Wes Henry has done collaborations with Sabet, but he was stepping on Sabet's toes, which is my feeling that is why that tweet and image no longer appear. But he does have one thing of Michael Jordan that I'll show you right now. Wes Henry does, which is very funny because it's right here. But this is not the one he posted. He posted a different one, which was better than this. This, okay, is okay. But the point is that he was trying to tell Chicago Bulls that I've been a fan for a long time. I don't know why you're going to Sabet. Now, speaking of Sabet, this is also from his Twitter page. This is how he creates digitally. Oh, I gotta turn off the sound. No sound, no sound. So this is him in his digital studio. And this is probably why he's able to create so much stuff. I think he uses a Wacom pen and palette. It's because he's very fast. He's very good. He knows what he's doing. And he can draw a beautiful image and then color it in a very short amount of time. Which makes you feel like it's, like more like a factory in a warehouse rather than something artistic. But I disagree. It's very beautiful. This is digital, very crisp lines. And then he signs it Sabet. Beautiful, right? And this is how Sabet draws in his analog studio with his hands and not with a pen and a digitizer. This is his hand on a piece of paper. Now, I don't think this is how he draws the Pixopop kids, but the idea is the same, that it's all done with his hand. And it's an interesting technique. So that's Sabet, and how he creates and how he draws. And while we're on break, I got to thinking about Gabe Weis, who is another really interesting abstractionist, cubist artist. And Gabe does both analog and digital, but his digital stuff, as you can see, this is an example, is very, very tight, very clean. You look at it, it's not messy. The lines are super crisp. The colors are very, very vivid. And so you know that this is a digital image, which is kind of nice when you're buying because you know, hey, this doesn't exist in the real world. This is only a virtual something, and if it's a one-of-one, I am the only owner of it. There is not a twin that's out there painted that's going to be put on someone's wall or sold for a higher price. And then you go to another artist like Anastasia Kim, who I like a lot, and she is not, as far as I can tell, into being a digital artiste. She paints with paint, and then she takes a picture of it and puts it online, sells it as an NFT. And here's a close-up of one of her images. And you can look at it. You can see, look. Oh, there's baby Gianna. That's really cool. I love this one. Hi, baby. Nice to have you here. And this from Anna Kim, which I really love her work. You go to my Twitter profile, my banner and my profile pic are her clowns. And this, if you look at, you can see the texture. This is not done digitally. It's done with very thick paint. I'm talking about the one with many faces. Yeah, we'll go back to Gabe Weis. So this is an analog NFT. And this, the one that Jana Marie was talking about, by Gabe, and I love Gabe, he's very funny. And this one, which is very digital. Oh, there's Gordon. Are you familiar with the story of Pablo Picasso making a small pen artwork for a stranger in a cafe? I am not that familiar with it, although it does sound familiar. And I think a lot of artists do that. I think it's a wonderful thing to do. It's your gift and you can share it. And the images of people showing off their Sabet. And Gabe Weis, he was at the same event. And Gabe and Sabet have done things together too. They all know each other. And they're all in awe of Sabet. He's the older guy who has taught all these young punks how to get online, how to sell their work, what they need to do, the contracts. He guides them. And he's not taking any money for it. He's not asking. He's just helping them because that's what artists do. Because for so long, artists have been taken advantage of by managers and by other people with unreal expectations and cruel intentions. So yeah, I love Gabe's work. It's very interesting, very strange, and very bizarre. Well, Gordon says, does the sketch for a person who asked for it in a cafe, and the person said, wow, it's wonderful. He said, that will be £1,000 or however much. She said, but that only took you 30 seconds to make. And Picasso said, 30 seconds? It took me 80 years to make this. Beautiful. I love it. I agree. He just should have said beforehand, hey, pay me first and I'll put it on your arm, or whatever. But he's absolutely right. And Sabet does have a style. That woman's face, for some reason, I don't know the story behind it, he puts on everything. That's not my thing. Although in the promo for today's Boles.tv live show, I did use... Why is this not going to my home? Oh, I have to do this. I did use a Sabet. And there she is. That's his thing. That's his girl. He draws her 1,000 times in 1,000 different situations, which is fine. Not my style. I'm not into collecting faces of women. I have two things I like to use NFTs for. Backgrounds, banners, and profile pics. Now, if you go to Boles blogs, you can see, although not in this picture, that every NFT I own is now one of the background pictures. This is one about saving the Ukraine. That's not one. Don't mess with me, both blogs. That's another one. That's a Crypto Moray. That's a Sabet. That's also my Windows desktop background and a background for my iPhone. That is the activated ape from Sabet. That is his Bored Ape Yacht Club version of a Sabet. That's another Sabet from his sketchbook. That's another Sabet. See, when you have that face, it's the same face over and over, it becomes not interesting. But he's obsessed with drawing it, so it must mean something to him. The Sabet look, the Sabet person, I don't know. There's my healing code from Sabet, which I find unappealing in my own way. But it's one of 7, so I'm not complaining. I lucked out. This is an Ian Jones piece. He's from the UK. I love Ian Jones. He's very affordable, up-and-comer, draws very interesting masks. And now it makes me wonder if I can find that Sabet arm tattoo thing. Let me see if I can do a search on that. Sabet arm drawing. Maybe that'll bring it. Oh, here we go. Sabet drawing on my arm. Oh, that's so much fun. There's this famous woman again. She's everywhere. And there are people who say they go right from there to Sabet drawing on their arm. They go, rah! Right to the tattoo shop. Which is what I would do if I were into tattoos. I have no tattoo. But that is super duper 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 smart. To get a free drawing from Sabet. A one of one. A one of you. And then go right to the tattoo parlor and say, look, I know you don't want to trace stuff, but trace this! And put it on my arm forever. I think it's genius. I love it. I just love it. I think it's fabulous. And Sabet, being Sabet, very, 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 very smart to do it. Because now he's given away a one of one. They'll be worn forever. Here's another one. Sabet drew on my arm last night. It was a big event last week, I think. A couple of weeks ago. I'm so tempted to tattoo this. Thank you for sharing your gift. Now, see, you should. You get that on your arm. I think you're obligated to go get it tattooed. Because the picture, it's not enough. And Gabe Weis was doing the same thing. Let me see if I can find that. He was drawing on people at the same event. Oh, Gabe Weis tattoo. Let's just say tattoo. You pretty much have to get that tattooed. That's what I think. If you're going to go that far, to go up to Sabet and say, please draw on my arm, I agree with you. I think you're obligated to get the tattoo. Now, here we go. Gabe Weis. From Gabe. I love and appreciate you all, but some of you really show the love right back. So this person went to this event where Sabet and Gabe happened to be, and Gabe drew on this person, and this person went right. See, the lines are very sharp. Went right to the tattoo parlor and said, hey, put this on my arm or leg or wherever that, whatever body part that is. Might be a calf, I don't know. It's beautiful. And if I were to ever get a tattoo, I would get a tattoo from Sabet or Gabe. Why go to a tattoo artist when you have Sabet and Gabe standing right there? I'll draw on you for free. I wonder if that's the deal. Hey, all right, I'll draw on you, but you have to get a tattoo. There's one of the Gabe drew on a pizza box. I don't know if I can find that either. It's very funny. Oh, no results for Gabe Weis pizza box. But I would think if you're going to go to an event like that you would, oh, there it is. What always seems to have me when I break down a cereal box, not a pizza box, a cereal box. So this guy, for whatever reason, went to this event with a cereal box, unfolded it, and had Gabe draw on this. Now, I think that's genius. If it were me, I would not tattoo that, but I would take this as it is and put it in a great big giant frame with art glass and a nice frame and all around, and put it on my wall. It's a signed piece from Gabe. Who doesn't want that? Oh, that's fun. That is really beautiful. And he shaded it. That must have taken Gabe a long time. And you know this was a spur-of-the-moment thing, because if anybody were thinking clearly and they wanted to keep it forever, you wouldn't draw it on a cereal box. Gabe wouldn't do that. Gabe wants his stuff to last forever. It's spontaneous spur of the moment. Would you please draw on this for me? And there's a picture Gabe posted the other day of he's sitting in his driveway in some small town in California, and he's just painting outside his garage. It's like, it's not a wondrous, mysterious process. It's just what you do. And you have to be careful, because Gabe Weis spells his last name with one S. That's not Gabe. That looks like Wes Henry, actually. And so people think that it's spelled with two S's, so they think that the double S is actually Gabe when it's not. Gordon says, in 1997, I went to Walt Disney World for its 25th anniversary, and I attended a free drawing class there, and I approached the teacher with my spiral planner and asked them to please draw something. Somewhere in storage, I still have it. I love it. Find it, take it out, and put it in a frame. Put it on your wall. I know you're not going to get a tattoo, but the frame on the wall would be very cool. So these are people all buying Gabe's stuff on his Twitter page. NFT giveaways, which are never really something that happens very often. Those apes, everybody's going apes over the apes. I don't get it. Now, this is another very interesting thing that Gabe does. He takes a piece of paper, like from a dictionary, and it has a word on it. And then Gabe interprets that word into a transparent sort of abstract cubist drawing on the actual page. So it's context in context on context. I just love it. And there's one he does that's a musical page. Here is Gabe drawing. This is not what I was thinking of. This is Gabe. Gabe is a little different looking than that first picture. Not that he's different looking, but this is not the same person in the first page. So this is Gabe drawing in analog at an art show. So much fun. And the black and white stuff is good too. And with these artists, especially like with Ian Jones, if you look at their black and white stuff, which is usually a template for what they later become something else in color, the black and white stuff is very affordable for some reason. I think it's just as beautiful as the color stuff. I guess people are turned off by a lack of color. I don't know. But Gabe's stuff is, how do we say this? I want to say uncheap. That is not the correct word. So this is Gabe's page on OpenSea. I just want to see if I can find the musical transparency, which I think is just so lovely. Oh, here's another one where he's over. Is this for sale? How much does it sell? Flexible, where he paints, draws over the page, the actual page. I love that so much. Transformative. And it's selling for 0.4. Same price as a Pixopop. Currently, 1,200 smackaroonies. But see, then here's the hard part. You go back and you look at the listings, and you go all the way back. Not that one, transactions. All the way back to the beginning, and you can see the original price. And it's heartbreaking, usually. So this piece originally sold 7 months ago. You're seeing it now. 0.23, half price. That's why you got to get in early. You got to get on the white list, because otherwise you're going to pay a lot. I just got to find the one with the musical note, and then I'll give up. I found it. Here it is. I love this so much. It's Johann somebody. My eyes are not good enough to see it. But I love the transparency. I love the dark lines. I love that it's over a musical page. I think it's absolutely, as they say, delicious. I just 100% love it. How much is it? And is it one of one? You never can tell. It might be one of one, it might not be. 1,800 smackaroonies. That's a lot of money. But wow, it's nice. It doesn't say if it's one of one or not. And you're not seeing, the transfer. Yeah, the transfer price. That's, how much did it originally sell for? Oh boy, 0.2. 269. Half price. 3 months ago. It's a game. You got to try to stay on top of it. You got to try to find a way to make your way. And so this is what's interesting about this, okay? This is not a one of one, which normally means to me, I can't have it, because who wants one of 5,000? However, you make exceptions for beauty and things that affect you. This is a one of 100. There are 93 owners, so there are 7 available. Which means they're sold out, but they're being resold, so 7 are for sale. That's what that means. Neat. Cool stuff. Well, as my Uncle Mills used to say, in a situation like this, well, Davy. You've been doing your live stream for 2 hours, and you really didn't talk about anything you said you were going to talk about today. Which is great, because that's why we do a live stream. You never know where you're going to go. Gordon shows up, starts talking, you go in a different direction. Jana Marie shows up, you start talking, go in a different direction. So we didn't get to talk about regime change and why Putin leaving Russia might not be the best idea. It's an interesting analysis. Prefactual thinking, which is fascinating. We may get to that tomorrow. Elon Musk, maybe we'll never get to him. He's a troll boy. And the idea of being able to reconstruct a face using AI with only a voice print is absolutely stunning to me as a concept. How can you create someone's face based on their voice? I can understand tone, range. I guess it must be vibrations. We're going to find out. Talk more about that maybe tomorrow. Maybe we'll get to it. Maybe we'll talk about cats tomorrow. Who knows? It's an open show. We talk about whatever is on our mind. And so, if you have anything to share, you can find me, David, at Boles.tv via email. Find me on Twitter, at David Boles, super follow available. On Facebook, we're regular old BOLES Boles, Instagram, Boles Books, TikTok, Boles TV. And if you want our video on demand for free, maybe some ads, I don't know, it's on YouTube. BOLES.LIVE, Boles.live. And always, if you are interested in joining our Discord server, here's the link. Easy to remember, discord.gg/BOLES. We have live text, we have live chat, or you can just come on over and do regular chat. It's all up to you. So until tomorrow, I wish you a wonderful day, a great evening, a nice nap, and whenever you awaken, may your joy be found fulfilling your soul. I'll see you tomorrow.